fine dice. Well, it's not even really a fine dice. Actually, it's called small dice at this point because it's about, what, 1/8 cut. Take it, put it in the pan. All you gotta do is let it heat up so it's like translucent. Not exactly the best way to kind of scoop up some shit, but I'm kind of hood. Okay.
So what is going into this teriyaki sauce?
Well, for me, the way I make my teriyaki sauce, molasses.
You're giving away secret.
Black soy sauce.
And you're recording it.
I really don't like the Latoya too much. I like to do some onions. I prefer to actually do some ginger, which I can't find. My chef is going to kill me because I usually have my mise en place. Sorry, chef. I like to do a little bit of a kickback, so I add a little bit of red peppers. What else is to this mise en place? Where is my rice vinegar? Rice vinegar. To sweeten it up, brown sugar. The molasses is kind of heavy, so you always want to have something to balance it out. So that's where your rice vinegar, or you can just use something as simple as white vinegar, which is the possibility that I might mix up the two of them because, shit, I might run out of this. But, you don't want this to become burnt. Well, not even so much burnt, you don't want it to caramelize too much. So you're just going to kind of shake up the pan a little bit. Make sure that you have enough oil at the bottom. So all you're looking for it to do is just kind of get a little bit translucent.
And what kind of oils do you use? Do you use like an olive oil or canola or?
Being that I'm only using a little bit, I use the olive oil. When you use things like sesame oil is really like a fragrant oil. So you don't want to use something like that unless you're mixing it in to make sesame sauce, or maybe you're making some type of teriyaki ginger creation or concoction or whatever like that. Oils like extra virgin olive oil. Baby! What's up? Like, we're recording and stuff and you're like killing us and stuff. Whatever. But
what are you doing?
I'm showing people how to make teriyaki sauce, kiddo. But
I want chicken.
There's things like guac oil.
I want chicken.
I'm making chicken, alright? I'm making chicken, alright? Whatever.
Alright, out.
Bye. Anyway, that was a demon. Anyway, guac oil. Guac oil is really good, but the thing is you got to be really careful about how long you keep it in there. Like right now, this is getting close to the translucent spot. It's still a little white. I mean, I used a regular white onion, or what people call Spanish onion. Chopped it up into the small dice, let it hit the pan. It usually doesn't take any more than 2-3 minutes. I got it on medium fire, so it's just a matter of watching it. When it comes to sesame oil, you don't want to keep it on too long. It's not thick like something like your vegetable oil or your canola oil or something like that, so you really have to monitor it. Another thing that a lot of people do is they kind of coat this stuff with too much oil, so then you have something that's heavy. It's nasty tasting. You know, nobody wants to eat eggs with a whole bunch of oil in it. So next step is really I should be measuring out as in a cup. I'm not traditional. I like to eat my cake first. So for me, I'm gonna guess this is about a half a cup. I could be a little hood with it and just take off the top, but screw it. That's about a half a cup. I only want to make enough to kind of do a reduction. The vinegar, even though it has acid in it, it's kind of balancing out your molasses. Your molasses is pretty thick. All you really need of that is a tablespoon. For me, I'm going to say this is about a 1/4 cup that I'm actually pouring in there. There's a chance that I might, you know, depending upon how I like the taste, I might add a little bit more of the rice wine vinegar. I'm going to season it up a little bit with the crushed red pepper. Not too spicy because unfortunately the kid is eating this tonight, so let him like burning his mouth off. That'll be great. Another part, which is a major part, is actually adding some water to this. This cup is about actually a 10-ounce cup. It's not an 8-ounce cup. 8-ounce cups usually hit up to about right here. But this is about a 10 to 12-ounce cup or whatever. So, you know how it goes. people back then don't really use measurements. For this sake, I'm going to try to kind of measure this out. So I'm going to say this is about roughly 6 to 8 ounces, the most. Of course, got to put that back in the drain. Brown sugar. For sanity's sake, this is a tablespoon, right? Really, I go according to taste. Well, in culinary terms, we will put down TT. If you see in the book, it says to taste. I'm doing 3 tablespoons. 3 tablespoons is the equation. If I'm correct, I want to say 1/4 of a cup. Could be wrong. I don't know. Molasses is the next thing to go in. I'm practically near the end, so I'm probably not going to have nothing come out of here. Oh, this is going to be really slow. Oh, come on, molasses. Are you kidding me here?
It's like you're pouring molasses.
Yes, exactly. The only thing is like molasses at the bottom, so it takes a hell of a long time. Oh, come on. Alright. Well, I have less than a tablespoon here. This actually changes the consistency and it changes up the color. You're getting more of a caramel color, but the thing is you want to keep your onions in there for flavor. Now, the other thing that I like to use instead of onions is actually scallions. It gives it more of a color. It's something that people tend to add on at the end. Surprise! Goodbye! Yeah, you always think that's funny.
Goodbye! Goodbye!
Surprise! Goodbye! Now,
Can I put the top on?
you just want to mess with me tonight, don't you?
Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Can I put the top on?
You can throw it in the garbage for me. Thank you.
I can be your helper.
Oh, she could be my helper.
Yeah.
Go ahead and drive me crazy. Alright.
What do we do first?
So,
Mommy, I said what do you do to us?
baby, we're like past that point. Like, I don't even know how to help you at this point.
I know how to make
So how long would this like simmer
I
about?
wish I
For me,
Yeah.
being that, see, the thing is,
what
the
I
chicken.
would do when I grow up.
Oh,
Make
it's
us-
it's
okay.
better
I
than that.
wasn't here,
Yeah.
I was.
The thing is, I like to do is, some people, I actually recognize that some people like to actually put water in the pan. I actually just like to season it lightly. I like to season it up with kosher salt. Kosher salt takes a long time to cook. So when you have chicken in the oven for about, what, 45 minutes or whatever, your kosher salt is going to absorb in at some point versus using your table salt. It's okay, but in most restaurants you're using kosher salt, you're using something with a thicker grain because it's going to take a while to actually absorb in. Thus you have more flavor and
It's like a salt rub.
yeah, yeah, definitely for salt rubs. It's something that you would want to use kosher salt. So for me, I just clean off my chicken. I throw it in the pan or whatever. I don't want to put it in there extremely wet, so I'll probably pat dry it or whatever. Put it in the pan, lay it out. Make sure it's even. You want to have a brown color like this. This I'm actually going to throw back in the oven probably for about 3 to 5 more minutes. And, you know, just to keep it warm for one. Is that 400? My bad. Kitchen's kind of small. But extra small. That's kind of a lot. So I'm going to throw it in for about 3 to 5 more minutes just so it can, 1, keep its brown color, 2, it's warm when it actually presented out there, and 3, I want it to have a little bit of a crispy texture. Almost mocking fried chicken, but not particularly fried chicken. Because with doing the oven fried chicken, you need something like corn. Okay, baby, bye. You would need something like cornflakes to actually do an oven fried chicken, but not getting off topic. Like right now, we're moving from it being just from a light phase to it's going to probably about 185, which they would consider that like a simmer. A simmer is like a rolling boil. Like right now, if you look into the pan, you'll see that there's little bubbles that's kind of rising up. This is really good for poaching, poaching eggs, poaching fish, that type of things, anything of that nature. You let it get to this point, and then you let it go to a point where it's a reduction. Reduction simply is it's just cranking up the fire. I don't like to use cornstarch now because of my chef, Chef Joseph at Career Academy. Basically, he was able to tell us, he was able to show us a difference. Actually, not only him, we had a chef before that in our first module that actually did a comparison when he was showing us the mother sauces. Not to get too heavy into it, but mother sauces are things like bechamel, espagnole, tomato, hollandaise, and velouté. So, yeah, basically the reduction is getting it from the simmer stage to basically letting it simmer like this. And all of this is just basically letting it turn into a thick sauce on its own.
Okay.
So after a point, you taste your sauce, use your judgment, see how it tastes, and voila. You know, you might want to add in a couple of things like red wine vinegar. I love the duck. Well, not red wine vinegar. Baby, you're killing me here. You're killing me. You might want to actually add things like red wine. The rule of thumb for wine is to use something that you would drink. So if you're not going to use something you drink, Goya is always a safe option. It depends on what you're using it for. Chicken is pretty safe. Depends on your taste buds and your person, and your personal preferences. If you want to garnish up your chicken, I would definitely say fresh parsley. If you're doing Asian cuisine, you want to probably aim for scallions. Yep.
Okay. Cool. Well, we'll let the simmer and we'll get back to you.
Okie dokie.